so we are at the next stop, which is the boat launch on Gabriola Island, and we're going to head on over to Mudge Island. Let me show you. So that over there is Mudge Island, and this is the Gabriola boat launch, and there's lots of oysters and stuff down there, but check it out. So this is where we're going to be putting up the boat. Dries brought his inflatable, so we're going to get that up and running and take a ride on over to Mudge Island and go check it out. So that, folks, right over there is Mudge Island. I mean, it almost looks like you can walk it, but if you can see, the current is actually quite strong. Anyway, so there's everybody. We're going to put the boat up and get it cracking. Okay, so there we go. We're almost there. Inflated the boat. Takes about half an hour to get it all together. Dries is busy putting the engine mount on, and then we're going to head out there. Sweet. All right, so here we are, almost done. Boat's ready to go in the water. Can I zoom in and focus on the boat? There we go. And the water is nice and clear and very flat, so that's a great start for boating. We'll see how it. We'll show you how it works. All right. We're about ready to set off on the boating adventure. How's it going, Dave? You ready for this? And Dries is our resident boat expert. It's his boat. He's
assistant. Second assistant.
So, like I said earlier, that's Mudge Island on the other side over there, which is only accessible by boat. And off we go. And here we go. Everybody on.
All aboard!
All aboard!
Night train!
I can't do that way.
All
Alright, so here we jumped on, and this is now the kind of strait or the space between Gabriola Island on the left and Mudge Island on the right, and there's quite a significant current that's coming down here, so we were just taking it easy. It's a new motor on the boat, so we didn't want to run it, and we are, you know, we're a bunch of heavy South Africans, so we took it easy and we went up for a nice slow ride up the coast. So we didn't stop at Mudge first, we just went all the way up to the top end of Gabriola Island, which was, you know, quite nice. And it was low water, so it was actually a few places it was kind of very shallow, so we had to watch out. There was the graveyard is on the left there. Funny story, well, I don't know if it is funny, but anyway, the graveyard, some of the embankment of the graveyard had started washing away, so there's some human remains, some of the bones from the old graves are sticking out, so you've got this giant wall there, sand ground wall, and then some of the bones are sticking out. So what they did is they've got these little cloth things, well, not cloths, mesh nets that they cover the bones with from the outside. A bit of a grim story, I think, but anyway, interesting. So yeah, what we got is Gabriola on the left, Mudge Island on the right. It's actually amazing. It is so beautiful in this island, between all these little islands, or what do they call them? Yeah, this island group. There's a lot of little islands up front, and it was a perfect day on the water, to be honest. So while going up here at the top there's like a giant, well, you can't really see it, but there's like a giant ship moored in between the islands, and we saw some, yeah, it was just, it's such a cool thing to do. If you can ever get around to it, you try and do a boat trip around these islands. Doesn't even have to be Gabriola Island. It's just such a nice thing to do. I'm thinking of getting a little boat like this now because it's such a handy thing. I mean, it fits in the back of the car. You've got like a little electric pump. You pump it up. Within half an hour, it's ready to put in the water and go wherever you are. And it, like I said, it fits in the back of our car, the whole boat with the motor and everything. And you could actually make, be looking at making a tail hitch extension to put the motor on that would make it even easier. Any which way, so here we are going over to Mudge. Alright folks, so here we are on Mudge Island. It's about, I guess, about an hour and a half later. We took a ride all the way up there. So we went almost to the end of Gabriola Island. Quite a long ride, it's absolutely beautiful out there. And now we are on Mudge Island. We just landed here, but check it check it the size of these oysters lying around here. I must actually show you this. It's ridiculous. There's these huge oysters around. Not that they're good eating, but yeah, they're giant. Check things like this. That's still a little one. Wait, where's that nice big one? But check here, well, let me show you. Check the size of these things. Huge. Anyway, so here we are on Mudge Island and we're going to go for a walk. Check it out. The boat's got little wheels, so we pulled it up there. So Mudge Island is still a place where you can buy a stand for less than, I guess, less than about 120, 130 grand you can buy vacant land. And then, you know, this is where you come and anchor your boat, and then that's where you park your car. Around there, Dave. And that's where you park your car. So when you go over to Gabriola on your boat, and then when you come back, you come and pick up your car and go back to your house. I think that's how it works. Yep, here's the slip. Your car or your quad bike. So check it out. So, yeah. Mudge Island, folks. I am still very, very keen on maybe picking up a property over here. The only problem, of course, with the stands on Mudge Island is that you can't finance it over here. So if you buy the place, you need to pay for it cash. There's no paved roads on Mudge. It's all dirt roads. But I mean, you're in the bush, which is amazing. Check at this. There we got Belinda coming along. Hear the bird life. What is this? A little tree with a cage around it. It's interesting. Oh, another one. Wonder if they're protecting them from something. Another one. So these are small trees that was planted here. And they got cages around them, protecting them from the deer or something, I would assume. Wow. This is it. Complete wild. But Mudge has got electricity and Mudge has got high-speed internet. Wow. No, I'm good, thanks, babe. Hey? Yeah, we'll wait for them. Why are they so slow though?
I had to go and have a look at how to get out again because those rocks can hit the boat. So they were
checking the route.
We're going to check out the place that's for sale.
Okay, we might as well go there then.
I thought that's what you would have done.
I mean, the one benefit of this place for sale is it's literally right here by the public beach access.
Yeah. That's obviously going to be at a premium.
Well, who knows, hun? Who knows? So did you have a look at the place?
Nee, hier is hulle redelik. Ek het al een keer by 'n huis ingegaan of in die waar ons van tevore met die agent was.
Ja.
En toe kom kyk ons na die tyd weer na die huis saam met Dan. Jesus, ons is eers binne in, net daar op die werf. Hier kom die bure, you trespassing, we're going to find the police and stuff. So,
Oh, wow.
jy kan nie daar in
Gaan kyk nie.
It's frowned upon.
All right. So you don't go on somebody's land. So, I mean, it is beautiful out here. And what's it? I think there's about 100 permanent residents, and then over summer it bumps up a little bit with seasonal residents. But about 100 permanent residents on the island. You know, it's really cool. It's I'm pretty sure everybody knows everybody. I'm not sure which is the road. I would assume it's this one. Yep, that's private property over there. So this must be the public road. It's it actually goes up high over there. Look at that. I didn't know Mudge is not. I thought Mudge was kind of flat. I mean, look at how high up it is over there already. It's like a ridge. It's actually a lot of vehicles also. This boat doesn't look like it goes in the water often. Hasn't been used in a while. Amazing how things can just stand and decay, eh? I think this is obviously a permanent resident because this house, you can see, it's got like a little garden. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. a garden and a shed and place to work. Obviously none of the vehicles here have registration numbers because ain't nobody going to bother you here about having your vehicle road legal, I don't think. It's been interesting, how do you get it here though? I believe people rent barges. It's wow, this is quite it's a significant hill up there. Interesting. So yeah, Mudge Island, folks. If you live on Mudge, you basically there's a golf cart, also hasn't been used in a while. If you live on Mudge, you have to have a boat to cross over pretty much the way we came. In other words, over to Gabriola to access the island or to access anything, if because there's nothing else on here. A few of the residents do stuff. So you have a guy that does welding, and you have a guy that does wood, timber work, and they help each other out. But this is, pretty much removed from society, which is actually not entirely horrible at times, I guess. So, Mudge Island. Alright, so here we are on the southern edge of Mudge Island, and then the one there in front of us that you can actually walk across to right now is called, hang on a sec, I need to check this out. Link Island, actually. So this one is called Link Island, up ahead of us. Check at this. Wow. And check it, all the driftwood still here. Amazing. So on high water, on low water you can walk through here, but on high water the ocean connects, apparently. Although it almost looks like it might not. Wow. Check it out. So we actually took the boat all the way up there to that gap through and back. Ah, nice and sunny. It looks like this is a picnic area. And that there is Vancouver Island. So Mudge Island is right on the edge, on the opposite side of Vancouver Island, or right next to Vancouver Island. There's actually a spot there on the other side where it's like literally like 30 or 40 meters across. Ah, nice beach. People are having a little bit of a beach day. Wow. It is stunning. And then this side is Link Island, which looks like it's uninhabited. So, stunning. There's a lot of exploring that can be done around here, I guess. Hey? With all these little islands, and you're kind of protected, but when the wind starts picking up like it is now, it becomes, it can get cool here, I'm pretty sure. It can get damn right cold. Oh, look at the rocks. Okay, folks, we're gonna walk on back over to where we left the boat and go back over to Gabriola, I think. This is a very relaxed day. Alright, so we're about to head back out from Mudge Island. Check it out. I just need to get on the boat. Are you up, Dave? All right, and we're heading out.
Bietjie langs, bietjie langs,
Bietjie
langs, langs. Nog. Okay, straighten up. Straighten daar, so.
There we go. Yeah, it's already getting deeper here.
Yeah, perfect.
That away. All right.
Perfect.
And there we go. That's Gabriola there in front of us.
Ons celebrate weer met 'n bier.
And that's Mudge.
So much for Mudge.
So much for Mudge. So while walking around on Mudge Island, actually on the way back, we ran into some interesting people. We met John and Verna. Now, John was the dentist on Gabriola for the past 30 years. He's just recently retired. So John and Verna both lived on Mudge Island and they work on Gabriola Island. And for 28 years, every morning they would cross with a rowboat. Not a motorboat or an inflatable or anything like that. A actual little rowboat. So for 28 years, every morning, I think Verna said at like 6:30, John would row across from Gabriola, from Mudge Island to Gabriola, regardless of the weather, rain, storm, snow, whatever. John would row across to Gabriola. The two of them would go off to work, him the dentist and she did something else. And then in the evenings at 5 or 5:30, they would come back and she would row back. So it was her job to row back and his job to row there. And for 30 years they've been doing that. For 28 years in a rowboat. She said it was always so funny, the people were looking at John going, well, why does he always make his wife row? Because they never see them in the mornings, because in the mornings they're too early. So they never see it when John rows, but only when she rows in the afternoons. And that's kind of weird, you know. We met a couple of the people, well, them and then also Bob, that also lives on Mudge Island. And Bob also has a rowboat. So every single day he crosses this strait with his rowboat. Comes and he hangs out here. And Bob is 68 years old too. So, yeah, interesting people. Funny enough, when we were on Mudge Island, first when Verna asked us, hey, what are you guys doing here? So I said, well, we're just coming to have a look around because we're thinking about buying a spot on Mudge Island. And the first thing she said is, she said, you must just understand that there's a way of life here on Mudge Island and you need to understand the way of life here and be okay with it because you buy into it, and that's what it's all about. You know, there's been a thing on Mudge Island where people wanted to build a bridge across from Gabriola to Mudge because it's not very far, it's just a small little piece. So they said, hey, let's build a bridge. And the inhabitants of Mudge Island actually voted it down. They don't want a bridge. They don't want people on their island. They're a very kind of, you know, relaxed bunch of people. They don't want to have tourists and too much going on. They like the way of life on Mudge, which I guess makes sense, you know. A lot of them have been there for a very long time and they enjoy it. They moved there for a reason. They moved there because they wanted to get away from the crowds, and that's pretty much the way it is, you know. Anyway, there was just a little bit of background on Mudge Island. So this is about almost it. We're heading back into the boat launch in Gabriola. It was actually a real fun experience. Going out there and walking around on Mudge, it was interesting, you know. And the day on the water, got a little bit of sunburn, but for the rest, good company. It was fun. Really enjoyed it.
Ja, that's why I'm calling. En net gou vir my weer so 'n billie.